All right, Southcombe fans, welcome to this week's version of the Coach Shawn Witten Show. I'm Stacy Street along with my partner Tony Briggs. Tonight we're going to talk to Coach Witten about last week's tough-fought victory on the campus of ETSU with the Daniel Boone Trailblazers. And at the end of the interview, we'll talk tonight about the big game, another district game, another region game against the Grainger Grizzlies. Coach Witten, tough battle Friday night. Tough battle, a lot closer than anybody predicted. No touchdowns on offense. So tell us what your assessment is of last week's game.
Well, I mean, our guys played tremendously hard. You know, we fought. Our defense did another outstanding performance all night long. We found some rhythm a little bit offensively in the run game some. You know, Nate almost finished out the game with 100 yards rushing. You know, we just had too many miscues on offense in the first half. You know, we had 3 possessions where we started 1st and 15. Our first possession, we were on the 1-yard line. You know, probably should have got a safety on the first one because I'm sure Kate gets out of the end zone on that one. But, against the experienced defense against Boone, we were fighting for every yard we could. Our defense is just playing so well. You know, we just didn't want to put our defense in a bind. We wanted to get in the fourth quarter and see if we had an opportunity to win it. You know, just wasn't a whole lot for us there, throwing the ball wise, but, give credit to Boone. They hung in there. I thought our defense played well. I thought our kicking game was good. I thought Mason Williams did a great job he had about 7 or 8 punts on the night. Of course, their kicking game was good. The difference was just, a couple plays there backed up, where we couldn't get it loose. I thought all night long, other than the first punt, guys like Nate, Dry, Dalton, they did a good job of catching the ball. They didn't let it roll. One time Dalton caught it on the 8. The first punt, we just let it roll, got all the way down to the 1-yard line. So it's just tough right off the bat there. But, definitely, showed quite a bit of improvement. Guys really laid it on the line, and that was a tough loss for us.
It's hard to fathom that the week before they scored 70 points. Some of them were on defense, some of them were on safeties, but all you heard about was that high-powered offense. You held the offense to no points. They actually scored on the tackle in the end zone, fumble recovery in the end zone rather, and so. You just really can't say enough about this defense. Even the last 3 weeks, the last 3 games, they've played tremendous.
Well, you saw the tendency for them on offense was to kind of spread us out and just try to get the easy yards. They try to do a good job and get us into a little bit of a 4-1, 4-2 box. And try to just do a great job of controlling the game. The first half was probably the fastest first half in the first 3 games we've been a part of. It went quickly, both teams running the ball. I think that our defense did a really good job of not giving up the big play. We did a good job again when we got them in 3rd and short. We got them in the 4th down. We ended up getting some big sacks. Our coverage was really good in the secondary. We forced some scrambles and we stuck on them a little bit. So. I just think that, when you keep telling your players that, it's for the greater good of the team, keep busting it, it's a little bit of the mindset on offense. You can't turn the ball over. You can't force the ball in some situations to where it puts our defense in a bind because we felt like our defense had them, pretty much all night long. We had some tackles for loss. We had some big sacks. Only one time we allowed the ball to bounce to get to the outside. But for the most part, you're talking about a play or two, where it changes the outcome of the game.
Yep. And a couple of individuals, 3 individuals on defense. Of course, Eli Williams, 16. The defense is built for him to make tackles. But Mason Ball, 82, 63, Eli Guess. We call their names a lot because they were in that backfield against a big experience.
Well, our inside people have gotten better. I think that Landon Hughes and Eli Guess have done a great job of taking on them blocks. Our defense is set up for the Mike backer to make a lot of plays, but you saw the one jet sweep they try to run. We got a tackle for loss with Mason in the backfield there. I think having Brad back gives those other guys confidence on the D-line, where they can kind of be themselves. I think Wesley Shankles is playing really well. I think Zeth had a very big game of getting some tackles there. I thought, Eli Williams went out. We moved Cade, the linebacker. We just kept rolling and kept making the tough plays. It was just really great to see. Boone's a big physical football team. They're older, only two juniors on the defense side of the ball, so just really experienced. I thought our defense, kept us in the game all day long.
Speaking of, you look at our offense last week gained about 187 yards, held theirs like 125. We said it 2 weeks ago, you said it again the other day. Slowly but surely, offensively, it's starting to click a little bit. Do you think it's because you play Science Hill, you're off, and you play Greenville, now we're starting to get into this groove where you practice Monday through Thursday, you play on Friday. Monday through Thursday, play on Friday.
Well, I think so. I mean, some small areas, we try to do some different things to put Nate and Kate in the backfield together. We try to do some different things of alternate them, keep them fresh. We have been having Nate at receiver. We felt like we just kept trying to keep them fresh, and give us a go there. Well, I thought Nate did give us a spark a lot of times. I mean, he had some big-time runs. We did get Kate loose, but, when you're starting out 1st and 15, it's tough. Obviously our passing game hasn't been there. Whether the windows of throwing the ball behind the linebackers or getting by on the outside and getting behind them and getting the big play, that hasn't been there. But I think that, for the most part, we try to loosen them up and get them to play lateral a little bit on some outside zone, then squeaking some inside zone. And, we just haven't done a good enough job of keeping that balance, keeping the play call, consistent. We haven't ran Dalton a whole lot. I thought Dalton actually did a good job. He had 3 scrambles, 2 he got the first down, and then 1 he was able to kind of find Cade there. But just, even if the first play of the game on offense we get a safety, it may change our play calling there in the 4th quarter, but I don't know if we ever get close enough to kick a field goal. Probably have to get it to the 25, maybe kick a 35-yard field goal, but we still didn't get close enough to sniff the end zone. But our guys are battling. We got about 5 or 6 kids. We're rotating back and forth on the defensive skill position. So, we're just trying to make. We're trying to. They're playing their hearts out on defense, flipping it over. And I thought our line did a better job of blocking. We had bigger runs. We felt like we had some areas there where we showed some improvement, but just not consistent enough to win against a really good team.
And speaking of that, I mean, you sit back and you look at the first 3 weeks and you said it can go 1 of 3 different ways: 3-0, or a combination of 1-2, 2-1, or 0-3. But you look at the 3 teams we played. Come November, that's the same competition we're going to see. Boone was very physical. They had 2 all-state defensive ends, so they made us better in the long run.
Well, I think a lot of things, your non-conference schedule is supposed to help you for the regular season and the postseason. That's going to be big. I mean, I think we've got a stretch run right here where we start to get a little bit more of the rhythm, like you mentioned, the practice. Getting a little bit Monday and then all the way through. It kind of helps. I mean, I think that, for a lot of the preseason, just didn't get it guys. They're not playing an entire game. When they get fatigued and they get banged up, they start feeling a little bit of the soreness and things like that. It's just kind of hard. It's sometimes tough to go. We're relying on a core group of kids that kind of, and so are other teams. You're seeing a lot of the same bodies out there. The difference maybe a little bit is just the experience of the teams we played the first 3 games. In some areas they're older. They've been there. Maybe, they've got some guy, our quarterback's playing both ways, our running backs are playing both ways, our receivers are playing both ways. So, we're just asking a lot out of those guys early, and so it's just tough to get some youth and some guys and some inexperience in those critical situations. But, everybody knows that it's tough for us to run the ball when they're just keep packing that box, and we just couldn't get enough behind the linebackers, behind the safeties, the throwing the ball out. It just wasn't clear enough for us to, make those decisions to throw the ball to help things open up.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for last week's recap against Daniel Boone. We're going to come back after these messages for an all-important conference game where the second season starts now. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.